Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Paige. Welcome. And today we're going to be talking about how I manage my anxiety. There are many ways to manage your anxiety, but I'm going to be sharing with you what ways work the best for me. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. If you do, don't forget to give me a thumbs up down below, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell so that you see every time that I upload, which is Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have struggled with anxiety for as long as I can remember, and managing it has taken a long time to learn how to do because everybody's different. So a therapist can swear by a coping mechanism or coping technique and it just won't work for me. So I've had to try quite a few techniques for sure. And I mean, my anxiety comes from a place of being afraid to be late, being afraid to be judged in public, being afraid that a doctor isn't going to believe me or my symptoms. And that's a big thing that I have with anxiety, and something I wanted to mention here. You can have anxiety and have a physical ailment or chronic illness. I was told for the longest time that my pain, my symptoms were all being caused by my anxiety. And I always felt like it was the other way around. So once I got my diagnosis, that was kind of validated. I was having a lot of anxiety because I couldn't understand what was going on with my body, and neither were the doctors. So that was a scary feeling for me, and it brought on a lot of my anxiety. And I would say that that's when it was the worst. I did experience panic attacks, and now I'm thinking that they were all triggered by POTS episodes where my heart would start to race and I didn't know why. Yeah, I think that one of the biggest ideas about anxiety for me is understanding where I'm coming from, understanding my body, understanding anxiety itself has really helped me. I'm the kind of person that needs to know why. So knowing why has brought me some peace and inner harmony. And I know that I'm not Looney Tunes like some of the doctors have called me. So understanding my body and my anxieties have really helped me. And they've also helped me identify what my triggers are. And knowing your triggers and having like a plan to deal with them, whether that is having an exit strategy, so having a plan on how you're going to get out of like a social situation is a great idea if a social situation is a trigger for you, or if your trigger is driving, you can work out a plan so that you don't have to drive. You can carpool with other people, but knowing your triggers so that you can plan ahead is super helpful. One of my favorite techniques is called square breathing, and there are a lot of breathing techniques that you can try, but this one's my favorite. So you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, and you can, in your mind or physically with your finger, draw a square as you do it, and the physical touch plus the breathing and the counting, it all really like pulls me back into myself when I'm having anxiety or a panic attack. And there's actually a video on YouTube of someone counting and a square being drawn, and I will play that and just listen to someone else count and breathe to that, and that is super helpful for me, and that really helps me calm down at night too when my mind's racing. So I'm gonna actually link the video that I like down below so that you guys can check that out if you're into square breathing. But you can honestly just count in your head or Sometimes I'll ask someone else to just count to 4 for me for a minute. Like, this is something you can ask someone else to do, or you can just do it on your own. You can have the YouTube video. There's a lot of ways to go about that. And this honestly helps me in social situations, because I can sit there and do it in my head and draw a little square on my leg or something, and it will kind of pull me back into reality a bit and help me catch my breath when I start to hyperventilate a bit. Yeah. The next thing that I'll do, if that doesn't work, is try to ground myself by using all of my senses. I think it's called grounding your senses. But I will look around the room and like just name things that I see. I will think about, what does it smell like in here? I will find things to touch, like the carpet or textured walls. Or I have a lot of textured pillows on my bed for this reason. Like this fuzzy one feels nice. If I have my dog, I'll pet my dog. What do you hear? I'll turn calming music on, if I can. There's just something about getting back in touch with your senses that reminds you that you are in control and that you are physically present. I tend to depersonalize a bit when I have a lot of anxiety or having a panic attack. And I just find that getting in touch with my senses really pulls me back as well. So yeah, that's my next little tip for you. I also really enjoy journaling, but my hands hurt to write, and sometimes my head hurts to look at the computer. So if I want a shorter version of journaling, I can find a worksheet online. There's tons of worksheets online to journal about your anxiety. Or something that I like to do is just rework negative thoughts. So at the end of my day, if there's something I've been bugging on all day, like it's just been on my mind all day, I will write it down. I'll write down the negative thought. And then I'll look at it and I'll think about how I can change this into a positive thought, so that when this negative thought comes up next, I can throw a positive response at it and kind of neutralize that anxiety right then and there. So let's say that I'm really tripped up about my future right now. I can't stop thinking about the grad schools that I need to apply to. I can't stop thinking about my ability to have children with ehlers-danlos syndrome. This is a thought that crosses my mind often. And these are all thoughts that don't matter right now. They're things that there's nothing I can do about right now, and they're going to have to wait for later, and that's okay. And having a positive response that kind of tells myself, you're future tripping and this does not need to be thought about right now, let's change the subject. Having that planned out kind of neutralizes the situation, sometimes even before it happens. So reworking my negative thoughts in a journal really helps me, and I can always kind of open the book up and look back to that positive response if I forget. So writing it down really helps. And I will memorize like reminders or mantras for myself that kind of soothe myself and keep me calm. Like when I'm driving, I'll tell myself over and over that my anxiety can't make me lose control. It doesn't have that power over me. Or this won't matter tomorrow. Things like that, I tell myself constantly because it kind of calms me down, reminding myself that I am in control and I need to hear it more often. So I tell myself that a lot. Sometimes I have to look in the mirror and really just like shake myself and say, like, you're in control right now. Like, you can take it back. You can take the control back. Even if I really can't, hearing that from myself and feeling confident in the fact that I do have control is helpful for me. Keeping a routine is so important for my anxiety, because if I slip off of my routine and let things slide, it'll become overwhelming and I won't do it. I'll put it off and then I'll become depressed because things around me are such a mess. So keeping a routine is very, very important to me. And that includes self-care. That includes getting enough sleep. If I don't get enough sleep, I am a horrible stress case the next day that you probably just don't even want to come into contact with. So keeping a routine for yourself really keeps you in control. It does. It shows yourself that you're in control of making your bed every morning and brushing your teeth and taking a shower and doing those little things and celebrating small victories. It's important. And doing your exercises, staying active, talking to people. It's all a part of keeping a routine. And without that, your life is going to start to fall apart a bit and not feel right, not feel balanced. It's not good for your mental health. Animals are so good for your mental health and anxiety. When I am having a rough day mentally, my dogs know. They just know right off the bat that something's up with me, especially Posey because she's so intuitive. Intuition. Anyways, they just know when something is up with me, and they'll come cuddle with me and sit on my lap. And having the dogs there and just petting them and getting love from them, it soothes me. It is just so enjoyable to me. So I think that having animals around is really good for your mental health and for your anxiety. My last tip is to ask for help when you need it. If you need help from your parents, ask them. If you need to reach out to a friend, do it. Like, these little things are important. And then if you get to a point where you need professional help, you ask for it. You make that phone call and you will not regret it, because your mental health should be treated like your physical health. If it gets to the point where you need a doctor, or not a doctor, if it gets to the point where you need professional help, you should ask for it, just like you would with your physical health, asking a doctor for help. You need someone to guide you sometimes, and that's okay. It's okay to lose control and to need help to bring you back. It's just important for you to take that step and ask for the help, because if you don't, you can really get to a dangerous place that you don't want to be in. If you struggle with anxiety and you feel like you do need help, there are options for you. I know that there are online options now, like BetterHelp, I think it's called. Or there are numbers you can call crisis lines. So I'm going to link a couple of resources down below of places where you can get help if you need it, because I think that that's super important. I go to therapy. I've gone to therapy since high school, and it's really shaped the way that I manage my anxiety and the way that I talk to myself, and it's really changed my life. So I really do recommend therapy, or just reaching out and asking for help if you need it, because people really can help you, even if you in your head think that no one can. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my video today and maybe learned something, a new way to manage your anxiety. And if you have a way that you manage your anxiety that I can try out, I am always looking for new ways to manage my anxiety and take care of myself. So please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys next Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, have a great day.